welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be making the Bottega Veneta bead bag, and we'll be needing size 8 of our beads. Size 8. Your fishing line should be 0.5 millimeter fishing line, and then you need a pair of scissors. So you cut your fishing line. In that fishing line you're going to place 4 beads. You place 3 beads and cross with another, making 4. So on both fishing lines you're going to place 1 bead. 1 bead each, one on the right, one on the left, and then you cross with another bead. So you have this. You're just going to continue this pattern, 1 bead on the right, one on the left, then you cross with another. Now because I'm using the 0.5 fishing line, I wouldn't want to be creating a knot inside the beads, just so I can easily pass through the beads a second time or a third time. So what I'm going to do is I can make 3 circles with the bead, 3 circles, then the third one I can just create the loop so that my work will be tight. So the next one, in order for my work to be tight, I'm going to create a loop. 1 bead on the right, 1 on the left, and then crossing here, I'm going to place it into 1 fishing line and take the fishing line back into the bead. This has helped me create a loop. Then I just go right into the folded fishing line, then drag. So you continue the pattern of placing 1 bead into the left fishing line, another into the right, and then you cross with 1. So this is what you'll be doing till you get to the 24th bead. And when counting, you count the circle or you count the beads by the sides. So when you have up to 24, then you can stop. So we are on the 24th bead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. This is the 24th bead. I'm just going to show you how to turn. Your right fishing line, the fishing line below, goes into this bead, alright, passes through this one at the middle and comes out from here, just so we can start a new line. Let's do that first. Now this is one step. Then the second fishing line goes right into this bead closest to it, this upper bead here. Passes through the one at the middle. Then passes through this one beneath here. Passes through the second one at the middle. And then finally comes out from here. So automatically you have crossed the second bead. So we skip 1 bead and we're starting a new line from the second bead. So now that we're here, you're just going to place 3 beads into this fishing line above. The fishing line above takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. Next, you go through the nearest bead, the next bead. Your right fishing line goes through it, and then the left takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. The right goes into the nearest bead again. The left takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. And then you just continue the pattern like this till you get to the second to the last bead. So you get here. Now we are on the last bead. So you're just going to go right into that last bead. We're not going to get to the end. This last but one bead. We're going to go through it. And then the other fishing line takes in 2 beads as always. So you have your slants like this. What you're just going to do is to repeat how you started a new line. The fishing line below goes through the bead below. This bead right here. It goes through. The fishing line below goes through this bead and also this one at the middle, and then finally comes out of here. You want to make sure your work is tight. So the next fishing line goes through this upper bead here, this upper one, then passes through this one at the middle, passes through this one down, passes through this one here, and then finally comes out of from here, from this bead. Now you've successfully crossed the second bead at the upper end. So you're going to start a new line again. Now this is going to form a triangular shape, something like this. So that is the pattern we are trying to make here. So you're going to continue the pattern. Once you get to the second to the last bead, you turn again until you have 2 left, forming a triangle. Now we've gotten to the top and we just have 2 beads right here. So this is how your work will look like. So the next thing we are going to do is to place our fishing line into the second bead right here, not the first. This second bead right here. Place your fishing line into it. Then on the upper fishing line, you place 3 beads to cross with the third one. Then your right fishing line goes into the nearest bead below. Your left takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. Your right goes into 1 bead below again. Then your left fishing line takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. You're just going to continue this method till you get to the very end, this last bead here, till you get to the very last bead. Now we are on the very last one. You're going to place 2 beads into your left fishing line, and then you cross with 1. cross with the second. Okay, now you're going to be needing 3 beads. You're going to place 3 beads into your left fishing line. Your left fishing line. And then you cross with the third bead. You want to make sure your work is tight. Right then. So our left fishing line takes in 4 beads. 4 beads. Now that same left fishing line goes into or crosses the first bead. The first bead you matted, the first bead you placed into the fishing line. You go through it downward. Then you drag. That same left fishing line takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. Your right fishing line goes into the nearest bead. So you can see that this side is different from, you have your bead slanting here and you have your beads elongated here. So this is how it's supposed to be. So you're just going to continue the usual method of placing 2 beads into your left fishing line and crossing with the second till you get to this very point here. We are on the last one here. The same way you built this place, that is the same way you're going to be doing the reduction method here. So you're going to place 2 beads into your left fishing line to cross with the second. So you have this place slanting. So what you're just going to do is to work your way as usual to this very bead right here. To this very bead. And then this one goes into this upper bead, into this one, into this, and then it comes out from this very one here. So you have it at the second bead. So you're just going to continue matting till you get to the very end here. This last one. This is where you have to place your, you place 3 beads into your left fishing line and then you cross with the third before placing 4 beads, and then you continue matting just the way I did this particular one here. So this is what we have. I've been able to build this side up to 23. When you count in twos, you have 23. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23. Now we are going to fill this place so we can have a rectangular shape. You get your fishing line and place it into the second bead, not this one but the second. Place your fishing line into it. And then this fishing line on my left hand side takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. Then your right fishing line goes into the nearest bead as usual. Your left takes in 2 beads to cross with 1, 2 beads to cross with the second. The right goes into 1 bead, the left takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. You continue till you get to the second to the last bead. We are at this point again. We place 2 beads into the left fishing line to cross with the second. And then you just go right through the beads till you come out from this bead right here, the second to the last bead, just the way we have been going around to come out from this bead right here. Then you keep weaving till you get to this particular bead here. This is where you stop. Now we're on the very last bead. 2 beads are already here, so we'll just need to place 2 beads into the right fishing line to cross with the second. And then the same way you do move around to get to the second bead right here, that is the same way you're going to move around at this point. So your right bead goes into this particular bead here, then the one at the middle, it comes out from this one here. Then this upper fishing line, this upper fishing line goes into this bead right here, passes through the one at the middle, then the one down, the second at the middle, then it crosses this second bead right here. So just the exact way you move around in this point. Takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. So you're going to continue the pattern like that till you close up this gap. So after covering up this space, this is what we have. I actually extended mine because I needed it to be big. So when you're making this straight line and you're building on the straight part, you're just going to make it counting in twos. You're going to make it 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So you're going to make, at the initial stage, make it 25 so that you can have the very size that I'm about to make. Then you can fill up the remaining space. So now we are going to be making the side of the bag and also the base of the bag. So we have this 18 on one side, 19 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 on one side. Now these 18 beads, I am not going to touch them. I will start from the 19th. Then on this side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So these 19 beads, I'm not going to touch them. I'll start from the 20th. Why? Because this place has the longest part. It's longer than this other part. So you're just going to get your fishing line and place on, you're going to leave the very line where you're supposed to start from. This very line, you're supposed to start from here, which is the 19th bead. You're supposed to start from here. But I'm going to leave this first one, and I'm going to pass my fishing line through this bead, the next one, and this other one. So let me just remove this. My fish line goes through this one, and the second one, 2 beads. So on the left fishing line, you place 2 beads to cross with the second. On the lower fishing line, place 3 beads to cross with the third. The upper fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. Then the right fishing line goes into this bead right here. Just 1 bead below. And then you place 2 beads on the upper fishing line. So you have something like this. You can see that automatically it has gone back to the first line. So you keep up the work. Your right fishing line goes into 2 beads below. The same fishing line goes into 1 bead to cross with the other fishing line. So you're crossing with just 1 bead. Now because you have 1 bead here, you're going to place 3 beads to cross with the third into the upper fishing line. Your right fishing line goes into 2 beads again. And then you cross with 1. This is the pattern you're going to be repeating till you get to the very last bead. The upper fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. The lower fishing line goes into 2 beads. And then you cross the fishing lines into 1 bead. Again, the upper fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. The lower one goes into 2 beads again. And cross with 1. So I'm going to check if I'm on the last line. Yes, I'm on the last line. So I'm just going to place 1 into the lower fishing line. Because I've gotten to the very last one, I'm going to pass the fishing line into this one here, into this bead here. And then the same fishing line goes into these 2 beads, this one and this one right here, these 2 beads. So the next thing I'm to do is to cross both fishing lines into this very bead right here. So this is what we have. We are starting a new line now. The left fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. And then the upper fishing line takes in 3 beads again to cross with the third. The lower fishing line goes into 2 beads. These 2 beads right here. And then you cross the fishing lines into 1 bead. So you are going to repeat this pattern till you get to the very end. The upper fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. To cross with just 1. So we're on the last one. I'm going to place it into 2 as usual. And then cross with 1. The lower fishing line goes into the nearest 1 bead. And then the upper fishing line takes in 2 beads. 2 beads, but you cross into this fishing line, this bead here, where the fishing line came out from. You're going to cross into it. Now you will pass the fishing line through the beaded work, these 2 beads here. You're going to pass the fishing line through them to come out from this bead at the middle. And then the second fishing line crosses the same bead also. So this is what you have. Now the fishing line below takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. Yes, the fishing line below goes into the nearest 1 bead. And then the upper fishing line takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. Now they're into one bead. As before, you're going to place 3 beads into the upper fishing line to cross with the third. The fishing line below goes into 2 beads. And then you cross with just 1 bead, as previously done. So you continue this pattern till you get to the end. So I'm on the last one. I'm still going to place 1 bead to cross. The upper fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. And then the lower fishing line goes into 1 bead, the bead below. That same lower fishing line takes in 2 beads, but we are not going to cross. I'm going to go right into this bead right here. So we have something like this. Now I'm going to work my way to this very bead here. So I'm going to pass through this bead, this one, and then come out from here. The other one crosses the same bead. So we have it like this. As previously done, we are going to continue till we get to the end of this one also. So we are on this ending. I'm still going to put 3 beads into the upper fishing line. Alright. So the lower fishing line goes into 1 bead. This upper one takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. The lower fishing line goes into 1 bead again. Then that same lower one takes in 2 beads. You're not going to cross as usual. You're just going to go through this bead right here. Then you go through this, and come out from this upper bead. The other fishing line passes through the same bead you came out from. So you're going to continue the pattern. You place 3 beads on the lower fishing line, the one on my right hand side. Then the fishing line below goes into the nearest one bead. The right fishing line takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. Now you are going to take in 3 beads to cross with the third on your upper fishing line. Right? So continue the previous pattern of going into 2 beads to cross with just 1 bead. Then you take in 3 again till you get to the very end. Now we are still going to place 3 beads on the upper fishing line to cross with the third. The lower fishing line goes into 1 bead. And then on the lower fishing line, we place 2 beads. Two beads. Then you go right into this bead right here, this, and find your way out through this upper bead. Then you cross with the other fishing line also. Now we are back to continue the previous step. I would like you to pay attention to this particular line I want to make, which is supposed to be the last, or which is the last. Now we have equal length with this: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 19. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we have equal length. If I build again, I am not going to have this straight line because of the type of bead I'm using. It's oval instead of round bead. So I'm just going to work with this shape the way it is. So as it is like this, the upper fishing line goes back into the beads. It goes right into this to come out from this one. So it goes back. Then the last one. Then the other fishing line takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. So this is what you have. Now you're just going to be going back with the other fishing line, the one on my right hand side. So you're going to go back again. So you have passed through these 2 beads. Now the other fishing line takes in 2 beads again. So you have this. You return again to come out from this bead. So this upper fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. So this is what we have. For us to, you can see that there is a space here that is not filled, that is not crossed with the fishing line. So you're just going to go back to cross that. This fishing line is already short, so just go back to cross with it. Just so there can be fishing line there. For the last step, this will take in 2 beads. Then you're just going to pass it round. Pass it through this bead and this one. Then you can tuck in. So now this is what you have. The slanted sides are in the same position while the complete sides are also facing each other. So this is how it's supposed to be. Now you're going to just learn how to join them together. So I have done this side. You can see that it is very neat. You won't even know where I joined together. So that is what we're going to be doing now. On the sides that you have 1 bead missing on each side, you're going to start from the very top. But on this other side, you're going to start that have complete beads, just straight line like that. You're going to start from the bottom. So let's start with this one. So as you can see, you have 2 beads here. Remember, these are not circular beads, these are just oval beads. So that is how the shape is looking like this. So you have these two beads here, you're just going to place your fishing line through 1, 2, 3, 4. The two on this side and the two on this side also. So we are not going to be needing extra beads here to join. We are just going to be making use of the fishing line. I'm going to make the left hand fishing line longer than that of the right hand because this will be doing the major work. Now the left fishing line crosses this bead right here where the right fishing line came out from. We're just going to cross it with the other fishing line. So after crossing, this is what we have. This is the bead where we crossed. Now you are going to move your right fishing line through this bead right here. 1, 2, 3. You're going to go through them. 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to drag to make sure your work is tight. Successfully, we have closed this first gap. So the second fishing line goes right through 2 beads. 2 beads. So this other fishing line goes into 2 beads also. Always make sure your work is tight. And then the next thing you're going to do is to cross into this bead where the other fishing line came out from. So we are done with that. Now you are going to just continue the pattern. This bead on my right hand side, the fishing line on my right hand side, go through 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. The second fishing line goes through 2 beads again, this and this. Your right fishing line goes through 2 beads on the other side also. And then it goes to cross this particular bead right here. Again it turns. It crosses 1, 2, and 3. That's previously done. So that's just what we're going to be doing. So go through 3 beads, then this other fishing line we go through the same bead and the next, while the one that comes out from here we go through 2 also here. So this is it. We are done closing this or joining them together. You're just going to pass the excess fishing line through the beaded work. So for this other side of the bag, you're going to be making use of just 2 beads. So you will place a fishing line into 1 bead, Then the upper fishing line takes in 2 beads. That same fishing line goes into 1 bead here. So that is all you need. What you're going to do is to continue the previous pattern. Your left fishing line should be longer than that of the right. That's on the right side. So to join here, your left fishing line crosses this 1 bead. So this is what you have. Then that same fishing line goes into 1, 2, and 3 bead as previously done. 1, 2, and 3. Now the second fishing line goes into 2 beads as previously done on the other side. You want to make sure your work is tight. Then this other fishing line goes into these 2 beads also. And then the same fishing line crosses into this bead where the other fishing line came out from, crosses this, and comes out from this other end. Then the other fishing line goes into 2 beads, these 2 beads right here. So you just continue the pattern till you get to the end. So I got to the very end and just tuck the excess fishing line into the beaded work. This is what we have. It's actually big, just the size I need. So now we are going to be doing the handle of the bag. But before the handle, yes, just so it doesn't become complicated, I'm going to sew in my material. To make the handle of the bag, we are going to trace where we joined. We joined here, so we are just going to trace it up. So we are going to be starting with these 2 beads right here. So you place a fishing line through these 2 beads. Make sure they are aligned. Then your right fishing line takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. The same right fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. The fishing line below goes into 2 beads. The same way we made the sides of the bag is the same way we are going to be making this handle. Then you pick just 1 bead and cross with it. Now the upper fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. The fishing line below goes into 2 beads again. Cross with 1. And then you just go on and on till you get to the other joining of the sides of the bag. So you're just going to check if we have the length that we want. So we started from here, this very point here, trace up, right? So we started from the very first one. Now we are going to trace this upward also. So we are to stop, we started from here, this very first one, but we are going to stop this one right here, where the joining started from. We are going to stop here. Now this is because these beads are not circular, they are oval. So the shape is going to give is not going to be that of the circular bead. That is why this one is not giving the very round shape that it ought to give. So we've gotten to the end here. The fishing line below goes through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, while the fishing line upward goes through 1, 2, and 3. So you just find your way to cross both fishing lines into this bead right here. So both fishing lines have successfully crossed this particular bead up here. So the fishing line on our right hand side goes into the nearest one bead, and then the left fishing line takes in 2 beads to cross with the second. Then you continue the previous pattern. The left takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. The right fishing line goes into 2 beads. And then you cross with 1. So you continue till you get to the second bead, second to the last bead, this very bead right here. So we've gotten to the last bead. We are just going to pass our fishing line round again. So successfully we've crossed with this second bead. Now we are going to continue the pattern of So we are done with this part. So this is how our work is looking. We are just going to put this together, join the handles together, the sides of the handles. You join them together before making another handle or before elongating the handle. You place your fishing line into the one you just built, the uplifted handle. You place your fishing line into the very first bead, and then that same fishing line takes in, the right fishing line takes in 1 bead. That same right fishing line goes into the other side of the bag, just 1 bead. Make sure they are equal. Okay, then you cross with one bead. So now your right fishing line goes into the right bead, your left goes into the left, and then you cross with one bead. So we are done closing the gap. This is how it's looking. Now we have just 3 beads on top of the handle. Just 3 beads, 1, 2 and 3. We are going to be building this till it's long enough. On your left fishing line, you place 3 beads to cross with the third. Then the right fishing line goes into 1 bead. The left takes in 2 to cross with the second. The right goes into 2 beads. This bead below and this one up here. And then you cross the 2 fishing lines into 1 bead. You're going to repeat that pattern till it's long enough. Your left fishing line takes in 3 beads to cross with the third. Your right fishing line goes into 1 bead. Your left fishing line takes in 2 to cross with the second. Then your right fishing line goes into the remaining 2 beads, this and this. Then you cross with 1 bead. So now I've gotten to my desired length. I'm just going to join them together. We have our fishing line here. Our left fishing line takes in 1 bead. That same left fishing line goes into 1 bead over here. Make sure they are well aligned. Then I cross both fishing line into 1 bead. So you have this. Now you're going to turn. Your right fishing line goes into the right bead beneath. The left also goes into the opposite bead. Then you cross with one bead. You want to make sure your work is tight. Now we turn to the other side. We have this loosed part. We are just going to join the loosed part together because we already have 4 beads here. So you pass your fishing line through the 4 beads. You drag that down. So this is what you have. Just pass your excess fishing line through the beaded work and you'll be done. So this is the end product of our bag. This is how it's looking. I'm just going to put zip, and this is not all that I want to do on this bag. I'm still going to design the bag with other things. So this is how it's looking like. It's going to be a bejeweled bag, but for this stage, this is it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and like I said earlier on, these beads are not the complete round beads. That is why it is technical. So when you have oval beads like this, they are not wasted. You can actually use them to do this Bottega style.